guys, what's happening? Dean Del Rey right here, Thursday, December 19th. A little bonus episode for you. Got a surprise for you guys for the next couple months. I'm going to be dropping some episodes on Thursday. These are lost episodes from the Rock Vaults. Lost episodes from the Rock Vault. I always like doing that fucking, like the commercials there. Monster trucks, be there. Lost episodes from the Metal Vault. Anyway, a couple years ago, before I did Let There Be Talk, I had a podcast when I was first starting out called Poolside with Dean Del Rey, and the wheels fell off on that. And when it did, the episodes just kind of went into space. And during that time, which was about a year, I had some incredible guests. And I'm glad to say that I have them now, and I'm going to share them with you every Thursday. So tune in right here for some flashback Thursday episodes of Let There Be Talk. This is my first one right here today coming on. This one originally was recorded October 11th, 2011. And my guest was good friend Ross Robinson. You want to know who Ross Robinson is? He's an insane friend of mine, lunatic, love the guy. He's an incredible metal rock music producer. He's a record producer. You want to know what it's like to be a record producer? You tune into this episode right here. This guy's done everyone. This guy's multi-platinum producer. He's done At the Drive-In, my favorite fucking record, At the Drive-In. He did, SLIPKNOT. People love SLIPKNOT. Put your mask on, do some metal. SLIPKNOT, he did Korn, Tech Nine, Machine Head, The Cure, Sepultura, Glassjaw. Who else? Man, I mean, it's this guy, everything he touched is huge. You know, the guy's got he's got the touch. He did Vanilla Ice. He's going to talk about Vanilla Ice. That's pretty funny. Did my buddy Casey's band, Amen. This guy's done so many records, and he's just been a great friend of mine. So I hope you enjoy the episode. It's super cool. I'll let you know what it's like to be a record producer, and the fact that you get to hear that not too often. Also on the episode is my good friend Ian Edwards, one of my favorite people on the planet, an amazing comedian. He's currently writing on Two Broke Girls, which is great. What a great gig for him. That show's actually pretty fucking funny. I went to a taping yesterday with Ian, and that show's funny. Those ladies know how to deliver some comedy. I love it. Everybody on that. Garrett Morris is on the show. I love it. It's pretty fucking funny. Garrett, of course, I did a movie with him years ago called The Long Shots, so it was great to see him, catch up a little bit. Ian Edwards, my side man on this show. He and I, my co-host, we got some good chemistry, man. It's great to have him on, and I listen to these episodes myself and was laughing over the last couple of days as I re-listened to some stuff. You get to hear where I was at in my comedy career 2 years ago, shit like that. Anyway, enough of that. Tune in. I hope you guys enjoy it, man. Have a great Christmas. I will be dropping an episode on Monday, so don't worry. Before I go, let's just get this out of the way. I bought the new Slayer Seasons in the Abyss on vinyl. Slayer released their records on vinyl. These fucking things sound amazing. If you want to know, go get them, man. If you're into vinyl and you like Slayer, just trash your CDs. This shit is insane. And I also got, I got Temple of the Dog on vinyl. It just got re-released. Fuck, so good. I mean, so good. How great is Temple of the Dog? If you don't have that record, seek it out. That's the tribute record that Chris Cornell did for Andrew Wood. It's always been my top 10 record my whole life since it came out, and now it's on vinyl. I love this thing. And I got Soundgarden, Screaming Life, and FOP EPs. That's on vinyl now. Anyway, that's my vinyl shootout for you guys. Those three are worth getting, man. I mean, get all the Slayer, of course. Or at least, Rain and Blood, Seasons, and South of Heaven. A couple more things. Shout out to Del Razor Jordan Lee. Good buddy of mine. He's fucking strong friend. Just giving him a shout out. And welcoming Fred Mertz, brand new listener here on Let There Be Talk. And, of course, all you other Del Razors. Thank you, man. I was 104 in the iTunes this week. That's fucking incredible. 104. I mean, in the top 200. So that's sick. Thank you guys, man. That's because of you guys. You keep writing those reviews, and that shit goes up. And, of course, thanks to Bobby Brown. Bobby Brown, how great was that episode Monday? Just laying it out. Get her book. Don't forget. Bobby Brown. He's got that book out, Dirty Rocker Boys. One last thing before we go. I have the shows coming up. Jim Florentine, Don Jameson, and myself are doing 2 live podcasts. January 8th at the American Comedy Co. and January 9th at the Hollywood Improv. Please get your tickets now. We're going to have some surprise guests we're going to be interviewing there. This shit's going to be great. We're all 3 going to do comedy, and then we're going to do a live podcast. We'll do some rock, fantasy league live. You guys pick out your bands. We'll bring you up on stage, ask you who your favorite band is. Oh, shit. And also, congrats to Kiss and Nirvana for getting into the Hall of Fame. Also, Cat Stevens. I like Cat Stevens. Linda Ronstadt. I mean, come on. She had a great record in the 70s. Linda Ronstadt, Kiss, Cat Stevens, Nirvana, and the E Street Band's getting some kind of special award. So, fuck yeah, Kiss gets in there, man. I fired up The Elder and haven't been able to stop listening to it. Kiss the Elder, what a great record. Thought it sucked when it came out, and now I just worship it. Did the same thing with Octung Baby. U2. Now it's one of my favorite records of all time. Okay, there we go. This episode going to be brought to you by Los Angeles Harley Davidson. Hell yeah, who rides Harleys out there? Any of you Del Razors? You live in Southern California and you need your bike looked at, worked on, you want to buy a new bike, whatever, go to my favorite dealer in Southern California, Los Angeles Harley Davidson of Anaheim. San Diego, Los Angeles Harley Davidson of Anaheim in Southern California's premier dealership located at Orange County and Los Angeles County line, convenient to the John Wayne Airport, LAX, and Long Beach. Go see those guys. They'll hook you up on some deals. Tell them Del Rey sent you in. Let me tell you where they're at. Well, actually, they got 3 locations. They're in L.A., Anaheim, Santa Maria. Check them out at 2635 West Orangethorpe Avenue, Fullerton, California. That's the one I go to. The place is huge. Get your Harley on. Get your Harley on. Okay. Here you go, guys. See you later. Oh, one last thing. Oh, fuck. I keep forgetting. Get your Del Razor shirts. You only got 3 more days to order them. Go to I'mSellingShirts.com. Get your Dean Del Rey Del Razor shirts. I'mSellingShirts.com. And get your shirt. The pre-order ends on the 20th, which is in a couple days. So let's get this going right now. Get your shirts. People keep saying, hey, man, when are you going to have shirts? Then I have them. And then you go, oh, yeah, cool. You got them. Yeah, we'll get one, you fools. Anyway, kick back. Check out Ross Robinson and Ian Edwards. Here they are. Thanks. This is a flashback Del Rey episode.
Yeah. Didn't know you had that in you.
Yeah, that's my morning voice.
Yeah.
All right, so here we are, poolside with Dean Del Rey. First one. Fired up. Let's see, I got Ross here with me, Ross Robinson, producer's done some amazing records. And Ian Edwards, comedian, one of my favorite comedians, hands down. So we're going to just... We'll be here like shooting the shit today. You know, basically what I'm going to do, there's no real format of the show. We're just going to have people on that I know, friends of mine that I've met over the years. Right, Ross?
Yeah.
When did I meet you?
Dude, I remember the first time it was at an Amen show at the Roxbury. And you were like just ripping on me so hard because I just did the corn thing. It was happening, like just starting out, and you like did that bend over and play guitar thing, and then like started going, "Mommy, why?" I didn't like you. I thought you were a complete ass. I was like, "What's up with that guy?" But I mean,
you had done the Korn record and it was out, and obviously I knew what it was, so I was clowning you.
I think it was probably just the demos, and they weren't signed yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because I had seen Korn. And I was just kind of, at the time, like, what is this?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's true.
30 million records later.
Yeah.
Or more.
Yeah. I mean, I like Korn, you know, but it's not my first choice go-to.
Right.
But over the years, I met the guys through Ross, and then it becomes kind of weird not to like them. You know how that is?
Yeah.
But I do like, actually, I like that record now, the first one. And they're good guys, you know. But I think that's probably just some insecurity, right? Like they were signed and I wasn't.
That's all it was.
That's all it was, man.
Yeah, because you're a musician and like.
What year was that?
I was 92, 91.
92, 91. Was that, now I was reading Wikipedia, which is totally wrong on you, which is funny, but they said you discovered Korn. That's not true, right?
I guess if you want to say, I don't know, it's kind of like that. Maybe they were a band called Creep before that, without Jonathan singing in it and one of the other guitar players. And then I had a friend that sold weed. His family grew it, and he would like sell it, and he got held up by some Crips and wanted to do something with all that loot he had. And so I basically said, "Hey, do you want to like record this band, like pay for it?" And he's like, "All right."
Yeah.
And it evolved into what turned into Korn over the next like 2.5 years.
That's how Death Row got started.
Yeah. There's
That's
always
the same history.
There's always a guy like that around. Like I had the guy that dealt blow, and you know, it's true. You know, and then you just
that's how Rockefeller got started.
Yeah.
Serious. Like, you gotta know somebody with some drug money.
That's it, man.
And make some good ass music.
Because the thing
And
is,
some Crips.
Yeah.
They have so much illegal cash that, and they want to be part of it. Usually, the guy like this particular guy I had was didn't get a lot of chicks, so he wanted to be in the rock scene where he could get some chicks, you know? I mean, if you're a blow dealer, you should be able to get chicks. That's all there is to it. Right? I mean,
you ain't getting them with blow. Something's real wrong.
Exactly, man. So, now, obviously, you played in some metal bands back in the day, right? Like, you're from, where are you from?
I'm from Barstow.
Barstow. That's like...
that's the bathtub crank.
That's like the
capital.
real Breaking Bad.
Yeah, the real one. The real deal. I've seen those guys cruising around.
Yeah, and you played guitar, had a band. What was the band called?
Détente.
Détente. Did you have a record deal?
Yeah, with Metal Blade.
Metal Blade.
Actually, we signed to Roadrunner, and they weren't in the U.S. yet. It was just in Holland. And then they licensed us to Metal Blade here. And
Who signed you? Mike Faley? What was that guy, Mike Faley?
No, he wasn't around.
Yeah, he wasn't around.
Label back then.
What happened to that guy, I wonder?
Dude, I know he's listening to some sicko metal right now.
Yeah, he was total metalhead.
Dude, there's a band that they signed. He probably signed him. Called Ghost.
Yeah,
and for real, it's a new one. And
it's a new band.
Yeah, they sing about nothing but Satan, and it sounds like old school Blue Oyster Cult.
Wow. Oh, I know. I heard them.
It's sick.
Somebody turned me on to them. They are amazing, actually. That guy's like, he's like, Satan!
No, but not even like that. But he's singing in soft, like
Yeah.
Blue Oyster Cult voice.
You know, I found out about him
Yeah.
was Hetfield was wearing a Ghost shirt on stage.
Oh,
and so then I Googled it, and sure enough, they're from, like, I think out of the country, like Sweden or something. Or,
No, I think they're from around here.
Are they? Oh, we'll have to look that
From
up. actually.
Barstow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Boston.
on the way to Vegas. Dude, like, for fun, we would drive around Barstow to see which fast food place had the best French fries. And
Damn.
that's
That's sad, dude.
it's terrible, dude.
It's either that or meth.
Yeah.
The meth's gonna win.
Yeah.
yeah.
Let me say, what we can do for fun? Find out which of the 3 fast food places got the best French fries. A game we played for years, or
Snort
see
some.
which meth dealer has the best meth.
Well, maybe French fries is the code word for meth.
Yeah.
Dude, there
You
was-
got any fries, dude?
Yeah, I know. There's so many like cars parked in their front yards and refrigerators taken apart. So people
Yeah,
see how-
Bars. So, when you were doing that Korn record, did you think it was going to be that big?
That's not even a concern. It still isn't a concern.
Right.
It never was.
Well, of course. I mean, because I know you as a person, and I know you're into, like, you do a band only if you like it and you believe in it. So that's that's cool. But I mean, I know when I'm in a studio, like I went in the studio with you a few times and heard bands that you're doing, and I can hear songs and I can be like, oh, this is going to be fucking huge. But that thing was totally a whole new genre of music was about to happen, you know? I mean, nobody was doing that.
Yeah, well, it was just a something that we believed in and a feeling tone that we were going for. So we loved the stories of the lyrics, you know, and we're so like into it and heartfelt, and it just resonated. I think it's probably the first band that truly show real emotion above wanting to look or sound cool.
Right.
Yeah, so it was absolutely real deal, honest to the max, like farther than anybody's ever taken it.
Yeah.
Especially in metal. Metal's full of cowards. Everybody's screaming where you can't understand what they're saying.
Yeah, Cookie Monster stuff.
Yeah, they're all cowards. They're wussing out, you know, because they're not exposing themselves.
Right.
You know, expose yourself and then break it down and then tell me how cool you are.
Yeah, that's...
You know?
I remember I saw Korn open for Danzig, so they were not accepted at first. So
No,
how
not at all.
how that record took off is kind of a mystery, because when I saw them, they were getting booed the whole time. They were open for Danzig on the second Danzig record, Lucifeuds or whatever. And I remember specifically the bass player Fieldy was rocking out on stage, and they were booing him, so he flipped the guy off, and he
that's
had
not
his
good.
mouth open like, and a guy spit, and it perfectly landed in his
Oh,
mouth.
snaps.
I'll never forget
Oh,
that
shit.
ever.
Either
I
will
was-
he.
I was like, how he didn't vomit right there on the spot, man. I mean, if you just spit on my arm, I'll vomit. You know what I
Dude,
mean?
that was SF to the max.
Yeah.
People were into that. That's like the scene.
Yeah, that is the scene, man. San Fran.
If they like you, they spit on you.
That's true. That's true.
So
but
maybe
I don't
they-
think they like them.
I don't know. Maybe you were a little off. You were too into your Guns N' Roses.
Hey, man, G&R for
Scene.
life, right?
Yep.
What
It was
what,
punk.
the record? I mean, you did a lot of records. If nobody knows who Ross is, he did a Cure record in 2004, right? How was that for you?
It was pure joy every day.
Yeah.
Just I can't even explain. Like I would wake up after sleeping for 4.5 hours, go to the gym, work out, go straight to the studio, and work, and be so happy, so into it. And I guess basically, if they weren't alive or doing it for real, it'd be like, oh my god.
Yeah.
I'd have to step up because it's my favorite band. And,
Right.
And I feel like, some crazy shit came out of my mouth. I don't even know what, but whatever it was to rev them up, and it was to overcome any kind of fear of holding back. You know, I couldn't hold back anything, so I wanted to give them that.
What about some of the guys in the band where they're like, what is this guy, Korn producer, doing our record for?
Yeah. You know, I mean, Robert was really happy with working with me at the time because I would say things that he wasn't able to because everybody's kind of afraid of him.
Right.
And, you know, or they just don't want to make waves, or if he would say something, it would crush people. You know, like anything that was constructive criticism, like he just had to hold it all back, you know, like, you know, you've seen these kind of iconic people, you know, they have to walk on eggshells. People are so fragile, but I would say everything that he was thinking, and he would just grab me and go, oh, God, thank you so much.
Yeah. So then the other guys hated you. You were the middleman for the mean shit.
I felt like they loved me, but I found out they did hate me.
Oh, shit. Those are some good actors.
They were,
Some
man.
Hollywood shit
we
right
had
there.
the best time ever. And,
So you thought.
yeah. And then an interview, like some interview in Italy, the Rolling Stone, the bass player just ripped me apart.
Oh, shit.
I'm like, oh, my God. I thought we were best friends ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crushing, but, you know, I think I did my job, and I'm proud of that, you know.
Yeah. The cure for me is like, I find when you're younger, you hate bands, and then later you get into them. Like, I hated Springsteen when I was growing up. Now I love them, you know.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing with The Cure. You know, when we went and saw them at Coachella, I was like, these guys are awesome.
Yeah.
I think I just had bad feelings about them because when I was young, it was like Cure fans were kind of clove smoking, you know, and I was like rock, you know.
Well, it was all everything. You either liked metal or you hated everything else.
That's how it was. It was weird.
Or yeah, you know what I mean.
What about, you did one of my favorite records at the drive-in. That record is smoking. Where did you guys do that one at?
Indigo Ranch.
Oh yeah, in Malibu.
Yeah. All 24 track tape.
What about that band, man?
I would at the studio every day. I'd tell them how grateful I was to be doing the record.
Yeah, just
every day, and it was like an unknown band still at the time, and you know, just you felt it. It was so alive.
That record is smoking, man. I still love that. They did Letterman on that tour, and it's like one of the most brutal assaults. Like, you had to know Letterman was back there just going like, what the hell is this? I mean, they were going, it's like getting punched in your face through the TV screen, man. That band is insane.
No holdbacks.
No, not at all. How long did it take you to do that record?
2.5 months.
Wow.
I think, yeah.
That's pretty.
It was heart wrenching, man.
Yeah.
Like basically, I'd go to the singer and go, "What are you singing about?" And he'd be like, "Oh, I don't know." And I'd have to dig in. What is it? Well, it's about. No, what is it? You know, just like trying to get it out. And I, you know, he was reserved in that way. He didn't really want people to know. I don't think
what it's about.
Yeah. That was my experience, but you know, because he sings about stars and space and this and that, and it's all abstract. But there's a full. I mean, you can't sing about something that hardcore without knowing why and inquiring deep,
right,
you know, to get it out of them. So yeah, it was full on.
Yeah, those guys are from El Paso, and I was just in El Paso about 3 weeks ago doing comedy. And it's funny when you go places bands are from. Like I went to Sheffield. That's where Def Leppard's from. You know, and you go to these places. You go, how did this band even get out of here and get signed?
I know.
I mean, you're just looking at the place, going, "Are you for real, man?"
Like there's nothing in El Paso.
Nothing. I mean, first of all, how did they even play? They're just done like, yeah. And people would be like, "What is this?" You know.
The music scene was good back then over there.
Yeah.
Probably is now. It's depressed areas have great music.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Athena, I'm going to ask him a question. I figured maybe you probably ask him this.
Yeah.
But, like, when you go in the studio with a band, like, where do you start from? Like, what's your thought process when you're going to start
It's all
doing
lyric.
a record? It's all lyrics?
It's all lyric, yeah. Find out why. You know, because it's like you can play a great beat, but if you know why you're doing it, then it becomes like a communication.
Right.
And if you just do like just from the hi-hat to the kick, you know, with intention like that, then it turns into something else. And then you stack on the other instruments, and everybody's doing it with that intention. And then you stack it on with a vocalist who's being supported musically by what he's singing about. Then you have like this thing. And, you know, it's like that's why the hit song thing isn't really a concern, because we're doing something else.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a ministry, if you want to say it that way.
Yeah.
So you focus more on the why,
Oh, yeah.
and then it turns out great.
Yeah, hopefully.
I mean, I guess it's been working out. So
Yeah.
it works out pretty good.
Well, Ross has an interesting way. Like, he'll get it. If you're trying to pass off some bullshit lyrics or something, he'll get up in your face and find out what it's about. And like the famous stories where he just broke Jonathan down, the singer for Korn, just to tears till he brought out what he was doing. You know, what he wanted to sing about.
I usually don't like people like Ross. I gotta be honest.
Yeah, he's mean.
No, you know what it is? It's not even mean. It's not even that part. That part I believe in. This is the part I don't believe in. So, you know, did you think that record was going to be a major hit? Yeah, it never was about that. and you're looking at people like trying to make it. And they're like, it's about that. We want those hits.
Well,
but your approach is like the anti-approach, and it gets the result that everybody else wants.
It does. It gets, you know, it gets like when you listen to a song. I mean, how many times have you seen the band live or whatever artist, and you heard the record, and live is just like, so much better. You know, and the record's flat. You know, it's because of that reason.
Right.
You know, that's the little secret ingredient that people leave out. They get all technical, and you know, so it's a pretty brutal gig sometimes. You know.
So you're giving people the live show on the album.
Yeah, that's what I try.
That's dope.
Yeah, with the, you know, overdubs and stuff, but the overdubs are treated the same way. Yeah.
What's your favorite record you did?
Oh man. Different reasons, different records.
Right.
Cure, because it was a dream. First Korn, because we had so much fun and it meant so much, and everybody stuck together, and you know. Slipknot, because they were so hungry.
Yeah.
That
Slipknot
was the album of hunger. You know, none of them had any money. The label was, Roadrunner was taking too much time on the contract, and they came out on their own with, I had to actually give them money to feed them, and you know, just, oh man, so much hunger, and you can feel it in every single, like in between the songs and the air. You can just feel it. It's
right. I mean, that Slipknot's just huge.
Yeah.
I mean, right now, still. I mean, even though their bass player's gone, but I mean, those guys are giant.
Yeah.
That's a crazy band right there, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you ever seen them, Ian?
I can barely remember them.
Oh man, there ain't nothing like them.
Yeah, and it'll, you know, Paul was the main riff writer.
Yeah.
He's gone, and it's like, God, that guy was just pure genius.
They think they'll make another record?
If they do, I better do it. That's all I have to say.
Yeah. Who do you want to do that you haven't done? Like, wouldn't you like to do like a Van Halen record?
No way.
No?
No.
No, why not?
Nah, dude, they're so burnt.
I know.
Just the communication. It's like so much abuse over the years. It's like that life that you're wanting to feel so much is, I don't know, the thought process is just kind of different.
Imagine the comedy you would get out of it, though.
That would be a good reason to do it.
Yeah.
And I'd have you come in.
Hilarious.
Dean's the lifesaver on records.
Ross actually brought me in when he was doing a Korn record. Brought me in and I did a documentary on, not Korn, Limp Bizkit, and did a documentary on them. Mm-hmm. And it was 10 months, man.
And if it wasn't for you, somebody would have died.
You can't deny like the records that you did. They're all just like great. I mean, people love them. Like I'll run into people.
All of them, but
like people have their thing, like Glass Jaw. People are like, oh, Glass. Like I never really got into it, but like when I'm out with you and people go, that guy did Glass Jaw. I'm yeah, he did The Cure. You know what I mean? Oh yeah,
Sepultura.
Yeah, Sepultura. Oh, Vanilla Ice, you did.
Yeah.
Remember he did the metal. Vanilla Ice was going to be metal.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Hold up.
Yeah.
Explain yourself, Ross.
Well, I thought it would be like the most punk rock thing to do, and I was kind of like bummed out on how big like the whole Limp Bizkit thing got with all the copy bands and everything, and. And I just kind of wanted to joke on the whole genre, and at the same time have a lot of fun. And we did. And he's a cool dude. And the main reason we did it is because he rode motocross.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Ross rides dirt bikes, motocross. And but
he's a good rider, so yeah.
Where's that? He's out touring now. He just goes out as Vanilla Ice now.
Nah, dude, he's got that VIP show, like
a home show, like on a.
It's like the highest rated show on that network.
Where he fixes houses and shit like that.
Yeah, he buys houses and redoes them.
Oh, and flips them.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. That guy. He's a smart dude. That's all there is to it. You can clown on him all you want, but he ain't going away. Look, he's still around.
He's his last name, Van Winkle or something.
Yeah.
Like that?
Yeah. And he's just as famous as any American president.
Yeah. Well, everybody knows who he is. You know what I mean?
That's the bizarre thing about it. Just from
I like this haircut. Remember he had like the slash on his eyebrow? Yeah, like 2 slashes here. I don't think Ian was listening to him.
I saw it. I saw the whole thing unfold, and I was like, oh, this is going to end bad. Hip-hopically speaking.
Yeah.
I just thought it was going to end bad. But, I ain't mad at him. I was actually, when he was doing the rock thing, I was hoping it would work.
Yeah.
But I figured it didn't because I didn't hear anything. So.
Nah, it was a fun project, and we became friends, and everything doesn't have to be for big success.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah.
Some is for comedy, like you doing a Van Halen record.
Yeah. See, that'd be amazing.
Yeah. Hey, you know what's funny is, I got Ross used to do demos, so I got one of the demos here. And,
hilarious.
Yeah, but I didn't do that demo.
Oh, you didn't do it?
No.
How did you get it then?
The engineer that did the Korn demo was doing this.
Oh, that's what's great.
And we would come in on Korn late at night, demo days.
Oh, I got you.
And so I put up the reel, and I was like soloing and muting things so you can like really hear the best parts of this band.
Yeah, what's great about this is if you don't know how records are made, people do their tracks separately, and then you can solo them up just to hear if the guy's doing something wrong or whatever. Mm-hmm. But usually when you solo it up and you're an insecure singer, you leave the room because you're only hearing your voice. Like, whoa! But this particular band at the time, Ross had turned me on to, and I fell on the ground. They're called Dirty Breed, and if they're still around, which they're not, but
I wish.
Yeah, that'd be so great. One of the funny stories of Dirty Breed was we went and saw him at FM station, and I acted as an A&R guy and didn't tell the band that I was a fake A&R guy. So we watched the band, and then I went backstage and just said, I would sign you guys if you fired your guitar player.
Oh, shit.
I think they fired the guy the next day.
Oh, they did?
And they thought I was from Geffen, because back then A&R guys just had mad power, just credit cards.
And then Chaos was from Capitol.
That's right, and we were having like a bidding war for him.
Yeah.
But I got a little piece of
That's
dirt.
so mean. Oh my god!
I think it was your idea, so get out of here.
Yeah, I know.
Okay,
I know.
Here they are right here. This is some funny shit right here. First of all, the song is called "Fit of Rage," which is pretty funny. And this is a little taste of it. Obviously, check it.
It gets better.
Oh yeah, it does.
I'm getting sick! Standing here looking at you!
Keep it going.
Yeah.
You better shut up, Natilin! What am I doing?
What language is that?
Cookie Monster.
I've had
Cookie
enough
Monster?
rap in my lifetime to last me now forever! I've committed no crime! Go ahead and say what's all on your mind! Go ahead and say, put me on a fit of rage!
It sounds like white pootie tang.
This part.
Let's take this one outside in the streets tonight!
He knows Kung Fu. Check it.
Well, I'll show ya fancy footwork! I'll knock out your life!
Them's is fighting words.
Man, that's a real band right there.
They were signed?
They were trying to get signed. They were doing demos, and that's what.
Ross, these were your people?
No, they would come in during the day.
Oh, okay.
And then late at night, I would do my thing, but I had access to the reels.
Oh, okay.
And they would dress up in like all of their stage clothes and leather, long ass hair.
Just to record the demo?
Yeah.
Record the demo.
Well, you did talk about is what's inside.
I
These motherfuckers trying to feel it.
Oh man,
Oh man, it sounded like a Saturday Night Live sketch.
Yeah.
Like some sketch actors doing what their impression of like a band in a
Of a
sketch.
metal band, yeah.
In a sketch. And I'm not even like rock proficient, but that's what the shit sounded like.
so good.
Yeah.
Didn't Fold play it for... He played... Oh,
it was one of the funniest things I'd ever heard because, I mean, the guy's dead serious. It's like, I'll show you fancy footwork. Let's step outside.
but you're only this close to how badass it is.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And by the way, there's 4 songs. I only played you one, but what's this one?
Cheater.
Oh, Cheater! The songs are Cheater, Crazy, Fit of Rage, and Too Young.
And nobody can get it. It's not posted anywhere.
Yeah,
It's hilarious.
Yeah, man, that is some
I
fun
actually
shit.
found the phone number because I wanted to stick it on an album somewhere, just as a bonus track. And I found the phone number to the singer through the guy that recorded him. I'm like, dude, it'll be so cool. It'll be so good. I'm like trying to like pull the phone away, and, like laughing and going, and you know, it might, you know, if you want to get back into music, it might help you about. I'm just trying so hard to let him to get permission, but just think of how many people would just love it. It would brighten so many days, you know.
I'll show you fancy footwork!
Oh my
The
god,
dirty breed.
You actually did that too good.
Well,
your impression of them is
20
better.
years.
Yeah.
20 years of practice.
Yeah, I actually sound better than the guy, and I'm trying to sound better.
Bad, yeah. You got to take that down. Take it down.
Of rage!
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Man, anyway, Ian's here. Ian's is
No doubt.
Ian Edwards, like one of my favorite comedians. This guy's fantastic. The reason I wanted to have him on with you is because I know that, like, I mean, you don't like any kind of bullshit stuff or whatever, and Ian's comedy to me is like, it's real deal, it's awesome, so it's great to have him on, and he likes good music too, so we talk a lot of music, which is hard sometimes these days.
Well, we like bad music as well.
Yeah, we like bad music. I'm fed up.
Like bad music for funny reasons. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and that's good.
What kind of music do you listen to, Ian? I know you like rock.
I grew up on like reggae. I got into rock through my brother because my brother was into rock, hip hop, reggae, R&B. Even though I think British R&B is better than American R&B because the British acts, they like grew up on the history of it, and they like everybody coming up wants to be so American that they study it more and they're into it more. So when I hear R&B in England, they never make it big out here, but if you go there and listen to, you could feel the soul of like R&B, in England.
Yeah, he was actually from Jamaica, or born in. Where are you born in London?
I was born in London, then moved to Jamaica when I was 9. And then lived in Jamaica till I was like 17, then moved to New York.
Right. And then what year were you in New York? Like when hip-hop first hit?
Yeah, when hip-hop first hit.
Yeah.
So how did you pick out your accent?
Well, right now I've been in the U.S. States for a long time, so I just picked out the U.S. one.
That's great.
I just got to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Because you sound like you're from here. Like,
I know. When I got to school in like Long Island, like we're the Jamaicans, and they call us the Yardies, and we used to call the American kids, like the black American kids, the Yankees.
Oh, right.
And it'd be like fights, like, you know,
right.
The Yankees want to fight after school. They want to fight us after school. I said, us? I didn't what you mean they want to fight us after school? I was in class. What happened? Can we just talk about this? We got to take on, there's only 10 of us.
Yeah.
This is their country. They
want to fight us.
There's like 300 Yankees out there. What are we talking about? They want to fight us after school. We got to be at the playground at 10 o'clock.
Ian.
So I just fixed my accent. I was like,
that's a good reason to pick it out.
Accent. So you get beat up.
I better work on this American thing.
What did it sound like before?
Like Jamaican, you know, like Yardman, you know, just straight up, yeah.
Oh, wow.
And it's kind of watered down now, but, you know, if I go back to Jamaica, I just come out Jamaican.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, I was just there in March, hanging out with my family, and we just, you know, just straight patois, just go back in,
I wanted to ask you something like, I mean, obviously you're not going to name any names, but any bands do like mad drugs while you're doing the record? Because Ian has a funny ass shit. He says no one listens to Christian rock because there ain't no drugs done in the band.
Oh, God. Well, yeah, I did Norma Jean, and those guys drank like pirates.
Yeah, but what about like
Christian,
any powders? Cocaine?
Ah, dude, everybody would just hide it from me.
Yeah, he can't tell. You clean, right? You don't do anything. Never did anything. Yeah, you're like, man, I don't do anything.
You guys are both vegans, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I try to be vegan. It takes a lot of money to be vegan.
Yeah, Dean will go to the veggie grill, eat something vegan with me, and then at night just throw that whole shit off.
Oh yeah, just
like he'll make it worse.
The point.
It was like give me 2 porks.
Yeah, he'll balance himself back into
he'll tip the scale right back. I'm like, man, just eat regular, so because you eat better when you don't try to eat good.
Yeah.
He'll fuck it up.
It costs a lot of money to be vegan. Like I go to Ross's house sometimes, and he'll make me some kind of potion. I'm not kidding. He makes some kind of potion, man. You'll be in a fit of rage. But and each item costs like $90. He puts in it. So I want to do it every day. I just don't have the paper.
I mean, what do you mean? After the first heart surgery, Dean, that money for the heart surgery will balance out eating healthy. So.
Yeah. Well, you start thinking about that. You know what I mean? People just have heart attacks all the time now.
Dean's funny. Like one day, Dean was like, you know, like so. Two of his friends passed.
Yeah.
Like one of them was the dude from. Tell me the names of the dudes that passed. One was Anthony Quinn's son.
Oh yeah.
And somebody else before that.
Yeah, he just died out of nowhere. I did a movie with him, Hell Ride. And he just died, and then someone else. Who else was it?
Somebody else died, like some dude from San Francisco that that?
Oh yeah, my buddy. Yeah, he just had like this was weird. He had like heartburn for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then he went in and he had some kind of like stomach esophagus cancer. Just out of nowhere. Just boom, dies, like both guys. But, like Anthony was a heart attack.
And he was like walking with his son?
Yeah, I just went to the store, this fella, and this guy's, rides a mountain bike every day like you.
Well, he was like all fit.
Yeah, but, you never know,
But Dean gets scared. He's like, that's when something like that happens, he eats healthy for 2 days.
And then he goes back.
Then he goes back worse.
101 cafe at
but
middle of the night.
101, yeah, exactly. So then he's like, his thing is, damn, man, it's getting scary, like my friends my age from high school are dying. All right, listen, all my friends from high school died in high school. You have nothing.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God.
I can't even empathize with you. They made it this far.
So Ian, the cool thing about Ian, man, is he writes every day, and I'm a comedian now. If you don't know anything about me, I played music for like 25 years. Now I'm a comedian, and it's one of those things where like Ross and people I know go, oh, you should have been a comedian your whole life, just like throwing my music in the gutter. So I learn a lot from you, and you write every day, and the thing I like about you is you go and do it that night. And if it doesn't work, if it doesn't work, you retool it, and the next day it works. So, it's a hard process, but explain that to people.
Well, like I wasn't always like that. There's jokes that I used to try that didn't work, and I would throw them out, and then, but now I'm on this thing where I think like it was a conversation I overheard with Billy Burr. I was just talking to Billy. And, I was talking to him about, how do you get that next hour? Because he's on like his third hour. Bill Burr is a really big comic and a friend of mine. So we was kicking it. And then, it's like you just have to push through, and sometimes, it's like when something can work. But comics, like if you try something like 1 or 2 or 3 times, it doesn't work, you throw that shit out.
Yeah.
Like sometimes there's jokes I've revisited later on and made them work just because I have more experience. But now I'm just, like, this is one joke right now. It's just getting longer and longer, and I'm pushing through. And, there's parts of it that's funny, there's parts that ain't. And, maybe in 3 months, it'll be a fully grown joke. But right now, it's in its infant stages, so I can't, like, say this is a bad infant and just throw it in the trash. Should I have said that?
Right. No, it's a life form.
It's a life form. So you gotta, you let it grow to its full length, and let's see, see what happens. So it's just think about it every day. Even if you're not sitting down writing, you're listening to it in the car, because I tape it on my iPod Touch, or just sitting down in front of the computer, laying it all in there, and then looking at the different parts and editing some stuff out, or come up with a new idea to punch a different part up. It's just, you just got to work at it. You have to do your homework, just period, just as a comic. Too many comics just, like, when I think about, this is one thing I took from rock. Like, when I think about all the great bands, like, they practice in their garage so long, so hard. And when they do a show, it's for like an hour at least, and they're sweating on stage and they're drenched. And the comics, and I thought about this years ago, and then comics would just go on stage, do 5-10 minutes, and get off and then hang out all night, and wake up late, and then just go back on stage with the same set. And it's like, how do we expect to make the money these guys make, or get to the level that they're at, like just fame or money, when they're busting their ass and we're just taking it easy? So it's like, if you're a comic, you just got to bust your ass. Like the best rockers, they don't make it just taking it easy like comics. So I try to adopt like a rock mentality, or just hip hop, just music, just anybody that works hard, whether it be a CEO or whatever, you just got to grind.
That's how it is. I mean, you're not gonna get anywhere if you're not working. I mean, when I played music, we rehearsed 7 days a week, and you always have a couple of guys in the band that always say the same shit, like, man, we know these songs. You know? And that's just like, see you later to those guys.
Right.
You know, that's just, you're out of here because they're not on the right page. That's what's good about being comics is you don't have the other people complaining.
Right.
You know?
And the crazy thing about it is it the best artists, comics and musicians all seem like they can just walk up on stage and it all comes off the top of your head.
Right.
Yeah.
Like you didn't even think of it, any of it before.
Right.
And that blows me away, seeing that.
Well,
Because of practice, just because of practice.
Yeah.
It's just like Jordan or just anybody. I used to watch like Jordan. I'm a Knicks fan, so I used to watch Jordan beat the Bulls, beat the Knicks, like year after year after year, playoff after playoff. And I used to hate him. And I said to myself a long time ago, why do I waste so much time watching basketball? What am I getting from this? And then what I got from it was like Jordan and his work ethic and just all the shit that he put into it. And the difference between him and the other players, like everybody can jump out of the gym, but it's what he just did mentally. He just prepared himself mentally, so he had that extra gear for crunch time, and that's when you need it. And that's what you got to get to in music. That's what you got to get to in comedy. You just need to prepare for that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I also, when Ian started, he was kind of a different style if you watch him on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
And
I look like black corn. I'm serious.
he did.
He's serious.
He had like long dreads.
I had long dreads. You know?
Sweet.
And he was really, really high, like up tempo, hyper and stuff. And now
you
he's
gotta look at an old
clip.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's interesting because that's also like rock and roll too, where you hear a band's first record, and by the time they get to the third record, maybe their third's their great one, and that's how I look at comedy with you. You've evolved into this you know, which is awesome.
But here's a funny thing that you just said. Now it just hit me when you just mentioned me. Like, so if you look at Def Comedy Jam thing, it's online, it's on YouTube. I'm on stage. I got dreads. They're blowing in the wind. Even though there's no wind in the studio where they're taping it, and I'm like screaming. I'm like on top of the crowd, and I'm like, and I'm yelling these jokes, but it's out of like fear, no courage. Like I don't want to be attacked, so I'm attacking. Wow. You know what I mean? I'm not opening myself up. I'm not showing them anything. Like now, my whole style is different. It's like you're really getting me, and I'm vulnerable. Yep. Like you'll hear if a girl did something bad to me and what I did back. Or just like if I got hurt, or just just more open.
That's resonating.
Now it's more courageous. You know what I'm saying? I'm more open, and I'm not yelling it.
Wow.
You know?
Yeah. You got what do you got? Like a show coming out, right? What's coming up? Well,
I just taped something for Comedy Central. It's called Russell Simmons Presents, and we taped it at it was at Edison Theater in Manhattan.
Right.
So it's going to be coming on. The host is JB Smoove, and I'm in one of the episodes. I also wrote on the show for the 6th episode, so that should be fun. I don't know when it's coming out. Probably I would say November, December.
Right. And tonight you're at UCB?
Tonight I'm at UCB, and I'm at the Pleasure Chest, too.
Oh, yeah, Pleasure Chest show.
Yeah.
The Dildo Shop has shows now.
And there's some good comics on there. Neil Brennan.
Yeah, Neil Brennan and
Moshe Kasher, yeah.
So if you're in Hollywood, come down to the shows. Ian's at the Comedy Store every night, pretty much. Or the Laugh Factory. I'd say come see him for sure.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite comic, Ross? You watch comedy? I mean, you come to my shows and stuff. Do you like going? No, I'm just. You know what I mean?
He says that because I was really, really tired one time, and I showed up as a friend to one of his gigs.
Yeah, playing music,
and the band was playing and everything. In the middle of the set, I actually fell asleep.
He fell asleep at one
and
of
then
my
he
concerts.
called me out. I was like on a 3-day like straight like deadline thing, and I was showing up as a friend and totally burned it. Damn, hilarious. Felt bad for years for that one.
I felt bad for you.
Yeah, you still. But do you like to go see the comedy?
Yeah, I want you to do the Keith Richards impression.
Yeah. Well, I'm working.
Were they with the watch?
Oh yeah, the Sheryl Crow story.
Oh my God. Yeah. Nobody can smoke you in stories.
Yeah.
It's like.
I got a lot of stories, but it's good to have friends around to remind you of them because I just forget them.
Yeah.
It's true. Like, what do you think's better, Back in Black or Appetite for Destruction?
You know, it's they're just two different worlds. It's like two different scenes. Like,
Yeah.
it's like I'm saying I'm a this kind of person or that kind of person.
Right.
I think they're both great.
Yeah, it's
It's
tough.
hard to.
Are we out of here? Yeah. Man.
Went by quick, right?
Our first hour is up. Poolside with Dean Del Rey. We'll be back next week. Thanks for coming, Ross.
You promised to do the Keith Richards thing on this show.
I promise.
All right.
Absolutely.
All right.
What record you working on right now?
I just did a band from the Basque Country. They're called Barry Turax, something like that.
You don't even know the band name. You're
Well, I
working on?
can't. It's TXRAXX. It means bad news in English,
Oh, nice.
but they're a very important band over there. Yeah, so it was.
I'm
fun.
glad you came. I don't know if anybody listened. We blew up with calls today. Callers. And then
This
Ian,
is hilarious.
I see. I mean, sorry we couldn't get to all your calls, man, but we just had so many.
This is the first one. People will listen later on.
Yeah. So tell your friends if you like it. I'm going to have all kinds of different guests on. I had a great time. Thanks, guys. And thanks, Ian.
Thanks for
All right, my
having
pleasure, man. Go to ianedwardscomedian.com.
Yeah. Make sure you go to that or follow him on Twitter. What's your Twitter?
At Ian Edwards Comic. Yeah, that's my Twitter. Shit.
Right on. Right on.
It's from the Basque Country. I can't pronounce it. I
Yeah.
can't pronounce my own Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have some weird letters after each other. And
Thanks, guys.
All right, my pleasure, man. Good meeting you, Ross.
You too.
Right on, guys.